It's latter April 2023. I'm going to show this tongue and groove I've been doing. This is in a party barn for the people I'm working for. It's going to be their tack room. So they do their horses and saddles and stuff and reins. It's got a little mini split air compressor. And I think the room's, I don't even know how big it is. It's not that big, but we'll just kind of walk around. The entire room has been done. They wanted the entire room done. This is in their party barn. And so the owner, she stained everything before we put it on the wall. She stained it and clear coated it. And the ranch manager, that's who I'm working for, he helped me a few days, but mostly I was doing it myself. And I was able to do it myself because the pieces are so crooked that we ended up cutting them down to basically 8-foot pieces, even smaller. Because when you have a piece of wood like this, it's not going to be straight. So then when you're trying to get all these as tight as possible, you're cramming them in and you're cutting them. And so this piece right behind my head here, that miter, the miters don't go tight like they should in theory. You'll get a few good ones, but they're going to be a little bit open. So that's just what happens when you deal with real wood. See, like that one? I mean, it looks fine once you're considering the totality of the project, but don't think that all the seams are going to come out like that one, like picture perfect. It's not going to work out that way. So if you're going for a rustic look or a western look, then yeah, this is an appropriate covering. But just keep in mind the limitations of the wood. And when we went to measure out the ceiling for these lights, the electrician had just stubbed his wires out. They were not in a straight line and they were not centered in the room. So we divided the room up and shot a laser level through and figured out where those lights should be. So we fixed the stub outs, and then I came through and I drilled a hole with the saw, my little hole saw, and put the lights in, and it worked out fine. But if I wouldn't have checked it, if I would have relied on somebody else's work, then I would have been in trouble, okay? And it's really kind of hard to see the window just because of the way the daylight is. They said they didn't want trim around the window, so I cut it in as tight as I could. But if this was my house, I would have put trim around the window. And then back here, there's a bigger gap than I like because whoever framed this didn't do a good job making the framing parallel to the barn. And so then when I go to put the tongue and groove on, I built the jam extension in a box, and I should have tapered it, but I didn't because I'm used to doing finished work on my own framing, but when I go off somebody else's framing, it's not good. So, but that's okay. I pointed that out to the homeowner, and she said, well, just make me some little pieces and then I'll come and shove them down there and stain them and it'll be fine. So she's really good to work with. And if she wasn't so good to work with, if she was going to be real nitpicky and say throw a big fit, then I wouldn't be working for these people, because it's not fair to expect 100% quality work on something that you didn't rough frame yourself. Plus, with all this tongue and groove, with all the irregularities in the boards, you know, they're really understanding, and they're not bad people. So she thanked me, and I was really happy to do this job. Took me, I don't know, a couple, 3 weeks. There's just so much work in here. Stepping up and down the scaffolding, up and down the ladder, cutting all the pieces. Like I said earlier, the ranch manager helped me quite a bit for a few days, but mostly I was on my own here. So Anyway, hope you like the way this came out. If you want to do something like this, it's really expensive and it takes a lot of time. Anyway, this is just me working out here in the middle of eastern Colorado. And so I'll make another video later. Thank you.